Welcome to another video. It's going to be a really quick one this weekend because we've only got a short amount of time. Now it's my birthday today and I've just been told to come over the barn because there's a little surprise, an unexpected surprise. It's not a birthday present off someone. So let's go and see what that's all about.
So this is what's happened. It wasn't meant to, but we found this.
Oh my goodness, and
There's brown and everything. There's more hatching.
oh my goodness me.
A
Well done, lady.
Is that your baby?
Oh my god.
There's more hatching.
Well, as you can tell, we were thoroughly unprepared for that and unexpecting it. I really didn't think that they were fertile, but later on we went and checked on them and they were all out having the time of their lives, but we had more jobs to get done out in the paddock. Stephen the sheep whisperer, I followed him up like dogs. I got a few treats for them. I'll go and put that in the bed over there so they can make sure they know it's there at least, because at the moment Dexter and Sonic are in the field there so they can do it safely, because Nettle, this girl closest to Stephen, she's a bit frightened of him still.
Right, come on, let's go show you your new home.
Because that winter sun is so bright, so low.
Bang in a minute.
Yeah, I guess just... You're going to get squashed, Stephen, dear.
Right, well, she's not bothered about going in. I've lost the bucket.
Oh, hell. Oh, dear.
Hang on. Hang on.
Oh, well, that was completely failed. I'm not even going to offer to help, this is too funny.
Don't get that on video. Two sheep like that and me coming out all hot and sweating it.
Oh, Stephen! Dear me.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll let you go, at least they're in and
Well,
they know
they're
it's there.
So now they know where it is. We'll get some more straw for out here. Right.
Stephen's just gone to go and grab a bale of straw, one of the little rectangular ones to put outside. I know basically once you start putting the straw down on top of the mud, it's just a continuous thing. You're never going to win that battle, but it's really it's so deep and slippy that when you're walking on it, it's quite dangerous. If you fall over and then Dexter decides to take a walk past you, you might get stood on. So we're going to put that down now. Steve's going to also top up Dexter's straw. Can you see these two coming out of, where is it? Out of there. Can you see these two coming out of there now? So yeah, Stephen's going to top up Dexter's straw, just where obviously he's been to the toilet and he's been laid and things, keep that nice and comfortable for him. I'm going to go in and get some barn jobs done. So it's really just sort of an animal related day where we've just got the jobs to get done. He's back, hopping over there. The other thing is we do have a bit of a problem that I want to try and show you probably tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon, just because we're going to be busy with other things between then. Really disappointing on the food front, and it's not the rats in the vegetable pot, it's something else. So yeah, I'll show you that and then we'll see if we can get that fixed together. Well, it's quite a few days later now, a lot of days later actually. We've just been crazy busy with work and just getting to the end of working for me so I can have my time off. Stephen is still very much working up until tomorrow, which is going to be Christmas Eve, so goodness knows when you're actually going to get to see this, so apologies guys. I just wanted to show you though the state of the situation where I said we had some problems. Essentially, the food that we harvested, specifically the baked potato squash, have stored nowhere near as good as they have done in previous years, and I've got a theory as to why. So I'm going to take you over there. I'm going to take you over there now and show you what we're dealing with. It's a very sorry sight. The good news though is that the chicks are doing absolutely fantastically and are getting really cheeky. I came in earlier and they were standing all over their mum's back, so we know that they're doing fine, fit and healthy. I'm bringing over my little cart that I got for my birthday. Isn't that just fantastic? Stephen calls it the granny trolley, because I know that there's going to be some things in here that unfortunately are going to need to go to the compost heap. So starting with the good news, we do have some really good healthy looking squash that are not doing too badly at all. However, I've just noticed the problem is actually occurring on this one as well. Can you see without the shadow? Apologies. They are starting to go mouldy from the bottom of the stalk, which is a common problem, but usually if you make sure that you cut the stalk long enough and then it dries out, which these have, they're absolutely dry as anything, then there's not a problem. We had all of these in the house last year on the dresser, just in the utility room, which was obviously a different temperature and a different humidity to here in the storeroom, and they're absolutely fine. Now my theory is, I've just seen another one, look. So my theory is we've stood these up to kind of, once they're dried and we're looking fine, we've stood them up just like so, and I think that the moisture that's been in the top of the stalk has drained down instead of just being able to evaporate. Maybe it just wasn't warm enough in here, or there was too much moisture in the air for it to be able to evaporate, and then it is literally just drained back down into the stalk and then settled in here in the top of the squash, and essentially, oops, it's just making the squash super soft. So this is one that's definitely going to have to go, as well as that one at the back on the right there, which I showed you as well. So I'm going to take those in the house and make sure that we basically roast and freeze them. But unfortunately, look at the ones that we weren't able to save. So this one, you can actually see the line. Excuse my nails, by the way, they are going to get done for Christmas. Not that anyone's remotely bothered about that. You can see the line here. That is where the soft and the hard bits meet. So I can literally chop this one in half, save this half, but this half's going to have to go into the compost. Same on this one here. It's coming up quite well on the camera actually. It's better than on the camera than to the naked eye. This is soft, so you can see I've just put my finger through that. Again, chop down the middle, but unfortunately some of them, so for example this one here, I'll just be able to save this bit, but look how quickly the dirty horrible mould has taken over. So I'm going to go through them all. Like I say, still quite a few that we're going to be able to save, and any that are showing any signs at all, another one there, you see that, of any mould, I will be cutting them, roasting them and freezing them so that we can save as many as possible. Just with all of the other food that we've been having, that's been going on through December, we have so many birthdays and different family events. We haven't used as many of these as we will in normal weeks, as we will in sort of January and February. Really disappointed at how quickly they've turned this year. Although I did say these squash have been a really weird year for them. They didn't grow as they normally grow. They've grown in all shapes and sizes. I don't think that's necessarily fed into how well they are preserving or storing. But yeah, you just don't know, do you? So I'm going to get some brand new seeds, which I do every year for these, because it's actually a hybrid squash, which I didn't know when I fell in love with them, so I was quite disappointed. But anyway, new seeds, fingers crossed for this year. We're going to make sure that they are dried in a different environment to the storeroom, which is basically so that we can or get a dehumidifier or something in, and I'll probably look to keep them. Certainly they will be laid down like this without the mould. to dry and to store next year, but I think we will keep them in the house as well. So at least we've got a plan forward, but it's such a shame that we've got quite a bit of loss here. Any that are kind of half, I'll feed to the chickens. So that's it really. Bit disappointing. Also the big one that we had, which was, we didn't have a clue what variety that was. That one's also gone a distance too. Never mind, we'll see what we can salvage and we will use those through January and February, even if I have to freeze them all first. So this squash was a Blackfoot too, and this had also started moulding. That's not mould actually, that's just the dried bottom of the stalk. So I've just cut out any bits that needed cutting out. That wasn't too bad. Done the same for these. It wasn't too bad overall on how much we lost. I'm quite pleased. All of the bits and pieces, there's other scraps in there ready to go to the compost as well. We'll just get composted. These are just going to go in and roast like this. I'll probably move them around because this is quite a big piece. This is small, so I'll just make them fit best I can. And then I'm going to roast these two separately and we will get them put in the freezer. Once they've been roasted, I'll scoop them out of the skins. They won't go in the freezer in the skins. And I'll just put them in kind of portion sizes, but there's no extra oil or anything like that. They're literally just going to roast as is and we'll get them frozen. One less thing to worry about. But in other happier news, I made a lovely game pie for Christmas Eve, which Stephen requested, using an agar pie tin, which I've had in the pantry just waiting for another outing. So we had some fantastic meat in the freezer. We'd had some hare, some wild duck, some snipe, some venison, or there was all sorts of different things. I also added in some pork belly just to make sure that we added the fat in that was needed, and just a tiny bit of concentrated chicken stock with the usual spices. There was thyme, mace, allspice, salt and pepper in there, and I put it into the roasting oven for a 30-minute blast, which coloured it lovely, and then just put it into the simmering oven for about an hour and a half, and it just slowly simmered away. Now this wasn't a pie that would have a gravy in it, so I was a little bit worried that it was going to be too juicy, and to be quite honest, it did leak. So Stephen was taking it out of the agar here when we were just having a discussion. Do we leave it on the tin, on the bottom of the tin that it comes with, or do we separate it? And he said, look, in the end, let's separate it, and he was just going to go for it. But then when he realised, and he took the side off so the pie dish comes to bits for easier access, and when he took the second bit off, he said, yeah, it's starting to leak. Quick, put it back on again, and we're going to get a plate to put it on. So the plate ended up being a little bit too small, so I was panicking at this point, thinking, oh, this is going to be a complete failure. But to be quite honest, it worked out really well in the end, and Stephen said he thought it tasted absolutely fantastic, so all was good.
Put it in the middle.
Whatever's going to happen's going to happen. Maybe don't go all the way in case we need to. Why am I panicking? Gonna put it back on the bacon tray. Yeah. A huge relief. It went down fantastically, and on to Christmas morning when Stephen received the funniest gift ever. Can you tell what it is yet? But it wasn't. It turned out that it was just other things wrapped and disguised to make it look like a drill, which Stephen found hilarious, and it was an absolutely fantastic Christmas. So we hope that you all had a very Merry Christmas for everybody that celebrates it too, and we're finally starting to get back to some sort of normality. Well, they're exploring very happily, taking us right up into the new year. So that's been a couple of little updates of what's been going on over the last couple of weeks during the Christmas break. We've had holidays and different days off all over the place, but we will be getting back to our usual video publishing, which is hopefully once a week in the new year. So the next video that you're going to see from Stephen and I will be all about what we're going to get up to next year and any plans that we've got. But for now, I'm going to carry on with my jobs in here as always, and wish you all a very Merry Christmas for those that celebrated it, and all the best for the new year from all of us here on the Smallholding.